Well, hey guys, I am Lauren with the Smarter Creative, and I am coming at you for a part 2 of my super popular Honeybook versus Dubsado and what features are missing. I am a Dubsado certified specialist. I personally use Dubsado in my business, but I am also a Honeybook educator. So I have an inside look at Honeybook and all the ways that it operates and runs, and I am here to tell you there are great things about both programs. To figure out which CRM system works best for you, go ahead and watch this video, but really you got to get in, play around with them both. They both have free trials, so just see which system you vibe with best. But if you really are looking to see like what's missing on both, watch on. So one thing that is great about Honeybook is when you go to send a scheduler request to just a random person, it will either start then a new project inside of Honeybook, or if that client with their email already has a project going, it's going to automatically put that scheduler inside of the project. So here you could just grab the link. I'm gonna open a private window. And pick a date. Ask for my name. I'm gonna pick a random email that I have and a random phone number. So I can send that to anybody and it's going to create a project. I hope I get this right. Dubsado does not do that. So when you are inside of Dubsado and you pull a scheduler and you just pull like a random, let's say a 30-minute consultation is one of mine. If I just copy this, paste it, it will let me book it, and it'll take similar information, perfect. Both of them, I get a redirect to add the information to my calendar. They both did it. Inside of the Honeybook one, it was only add to your Google Calendar. Dubsado, I actually can pick which calendar I want to add it to, so it is a little bit more customized there. But however, I'll get a notification that an appointment was booked, but I do not have that person inside of my leads. It's actually going to show up in my calendar here, and then I have the information for the Google Meet, but I don't have like their phone number here. Like there's no information for it. I could still reschedule it and cancel it and adjust it, but if it was a phone call, that phone call person, I would have to know who this is and then go into their into my address book and find them. So that's a little hard. But inside of my Honeybook, that call that came through was actually this test person's project, and it went ahead and had started a whole project for them. So it really, Honeybook is a lot more intuitive in the simplicity of it, but it doesn't have a lot of other capabilities that Dubsado does, which we'll get to. But in this case, it is just like a click of a button, boom, they have a project made, done. It's going to be in their project. Great. Super easy. Let's go ahead then and send a new proposal. And I'm just going to send the sample one here. Going to go ahead and fix in a price. Perfect. I'm going to review my email. Here we go. So this is a little tough Options in this email are super limited inside of Honeybook. All I have as far as smart fields, it is the client name is the only smart field I can do. I don't have any other smart field options. When it comes to adding additional buttons or things, or choosing even, hey, go ahead and take a look at your proposal here, and where that button lands, it's not an option with Honeybook. I don't have the option. And if I wanted to add another link, like say, check out all my services here, I have the option to make that a link, but even then it doesn't. And it makes it like a hyperlink, and it is not a branded hyperlink. Like, this is very blue. It is not my colors. And so, yeah. So I can preview it. And my button is going to be way underneath here. It has my logo here, which I don't really need it to have. That's probably a setting somewhere I can take it off. But yeah, it's very simple in what it offers. Now, if you're curious, like, okay, Lauren, but what does Dubsado do? I'll show you. So I pulled up my test client from the phone number from my utilities address book. So I'm going to go ahead and start a new project because it did not automatically start one. And I'm going to, actually, let's do it this way. Templates. I'm going to grab one of my forms. I'm going to grab my share link for this proposal. And then I'm going to go back to my address book and open up my client. And let's see if I can send them a message. Perfect. So here, this is the beauty of the Dubsado prettiness. So I can say maybe it was a follow-up from a meeting, and here's just great. So here's what happens next. Use the proposal below to pick the number of forms you want, sign your contract, and pay invoice, and then we'll get started. Perfect. Okay, now, but I don't have a, no link here, so I can go ahead and say, can put my link together, and now I'm going to go to my formatting options. I'm going to add a link. I'm going to add a button, and I'm going to go ahead, and it already used that text there. I'm going to open it in a new tab just because I'm extra like that. And now I have a button right where I want it to be. I can also, let's say, meeting with you. I could even do discussing your project beginning on, and then a smart field. I have project, and I have, or let's say I have a beginning on project start date, and this client doesn't have one, so I don't have it, but those are all these different smart fields I can insert into anything. I can also drop in a quick link to their contract, their main invoice, their portal, and here's the form link that I'm sending, but I custom sent it because this is a public proposal and I can send that hyperlink to anybody. Great, so perfect. So I'm going to go ahead and pretend that was all right, and I'm going to send it. So here is my inbox with both of the confirmations on the scheduler for both Honeybook and Dubsado, and the form that came through. So this is my Honeybook one. And from what I can tell, there's no way to customize this. and it's all static. So my confirmation then with Dubsado, this is a canned email template that I told the scheduler to use, and it is fully customizable. This is a pretty generic one, but I have still the add it to your calendar link, and then I personally have these reschedule and cancel appointment all the way at the bottom under my signature, similar to what Honeybook does, but I can choose to have those up above. I like to have the option to cancel or reschedule. I have clients that right above here, especially in the confirmation, it's like if you can't, they write here, if you can't make your appointment, go ahead and use the button below to reschedule, and they'll put the reschedule button right there. That is a custom link that you can use inside of your canned emails. And all the formatting can be changed, and you can make it look exactly however you want to. Now let's look at how those proposals came through. So here's the one I created for through Honeybook. It's totally fine. Again, it's just the blue. Check out my services. Man, I don't know why this is so tiny, but it is. And then here is my one from Dubsado. Yes, my buttons here are centered, and that is a big hang up for a lot of my clients and me, but I always tell them the majority of time people are going to be looking at your emails on their phone, and when it is, pop it open, when you're looking at it on a mobile view, I don't know if it'll let me, it looks like it's right in line, and it's totally fine. It's just when you're on a desktop with a giant screen does it look super funky, but most people are checking their emails on their phone. So yeah, so that is that, and this is all completely customizable using canned emails inside of Dubsado. Honeybook also has canned emails. It doesn't have as many smart fields, and again, you can't turn links into buttons if you want to add additional information links. So my vote here for how to send emails and the customization, that feature win definitely goes to Dubsado. So another thing that is a feature that is missing in Honeybook, inside of Honeybook you can white label your URL, and that's handy when it comes to your client portal and sending a scheduler, and Dubsado does that as well. But my issue with Honeybook is it is not white labeled all the way through. So like I clicked on view brochure here, and it opened up this tab. This is just the template I was playing with that Honeybook does, and it is here, like I have Honeybook here at the top, it's Honeybook here at the top, but when I open up my coded form from my Dubsado email, I have my logo here, I have it all, like it's all Smarter Creative, like you cannot tell I'm using Dubsado, and then my proposal is super fancy. I'm doing these branded Dubsado forms for only $199 right now if you want one. I love to transform it. So yeah, so like this is super cool, and it has, similar with the Honeybook, like drop downs, like where to jump to. You can do that with this coded one to go to about an overview and things like that. But it is, yeah, that is that. But it's just the whole, like I still see Honeybook in here all over the place. So if that's someone, if you are like a luxury brand and you don't want people to know like you're using a different service, I totally get that. And I really like Dubsado for like the actual white labeling that goes out far and wide. So when it comes to schedulers, this is another one, apart from the whole, like if a lead clicks on a schedule and they automatically get put into a project, that is a win on Honeybook's side. But where Dubsado wins out is the additional information and things that can go with a scheduler. So the first one I'm going to say and show you is like copy link with Honeybook. It literally just copies the link for you to share it with somebody. But with Dubsado, you can copy link, and it gives you both the direct link and the embed link, which is awesome to just like in one click drop it in your website. And I have another video showing you how to do that. Now, Honeybook, you can still drop that URL as an embed with an iframe on your website. It just takes using another tool or writing the code yourself to do it. It's not a click of a button. So that's really nice that Dubsado does that. And then with the Honeybook, if I were to edit this guy, my options for questions is incredibly limited on what information I can take. And like I can't do anything. Like it has my availability and the confirmation page that it sends, but that's it. Like I can't get additional questions or anything. But with the advanced part of the Dubsado, I can attach an additional form, and this is huge because you have to have it added first. But I can add a like I have my Let's Book Your Clarity call attached to my scheduler that's on my website, and it asks for like, how did you hear about us? What are you looking for assistance with? And then this is actually tied to a workflow, so I get the right information to the right person. And it is, actually that's not true. It's just a list. It could be a automation with a workflow, but I don't have it at that point. So I can get additional information here, and it is a lead capture. So this will create a new project for me in my using that scheduler because I chose that form that automatically creates a project. So it's a little bit more of a step, but I have a client that is a creative agency, and she does some branding and website design. And when they go to schedule a call to review branding, there's a questionnaire attached to it that asks more questions about their brand, and it's all done in one click of a button. So with Honeybook, I would have to send the scheduler and then send the questionnaire that has the more questions. But with Dubsado, I can do those all at the same time. One word to be cautious about is I wouldn't send a form that is like crazy long attached to a scheduler, because if it takes someone forever to fill it out, it doesn't benefit them, and you're ultimately looking to serve your client well. But if it is just a few questions and you can just knock it out really easy, then yeah, send it with the scheduler. Or if you're someone who doesn't take a schedule right off the bat, but you actually have just a form on your website that starts the process of the leads, and then you send over a request to schedule a call, if that's part of your process, then maybe you could just ask a couple more questions, maybe what their address is, what their Instagram handle is, just a few more questions. I know I like to send a follow-up questionnaire that asks, how long have you been in business? Tell me what you're struggling with, that kind of thing. So as far as the scheduler and what information can be sent, the win definitely goes to Dubsado. I covered this in my last video, but when it comes to automations and workflows, Dubsado still wins. Now, I hear that Honeybook has a beta workflow happening, but it is not launched out to the public right now. So when I start an automation inside of Honeybook, I can add an action, and these are my options. I can send an email, create a task for myself, or send a file via email. That is it. Those are my options. Here, inside of the Dubsado workflows, if I add an action, move me. Oh, these are all of my options. I can, yes, send an email, send a form, create a to-do. Those are going to be the three options that you see with Honeybook. However, when I send a form, I can send an email. I can also just apply it to their portal. This was great. I had a coach that I worked with that has like a ton of forms that she needs her client to go through, but doesn't want to send them individually. So what we did is we added them into a workflow to add them all to our portal. And once they're all added, Then we send an email with a link to the client portal saying, hey, see all of your forms inside of your portal, and these are the ones that are due before our next call next, whatever that is. Great. Or you can just apply to the project if you just want it waiting to like maybe send, maybe not, that you don't want your client to see at all. You can do that. And here you can require approval before completing this action. That's also an option with send email and send file via email. You can approve it beforehand. Let me just go over some of these other ones. I can archive a project, and I can pause a workflow, activate the portal automatically, send a contract, send the invoice. Like, all of this can be done automatically. Here, if I do a file, I can send a brochure, a questionnaire. I cannot resend that contract. Let's see, here is all the templated emails inside of Honeybook. And I can preview and edit. And the Dubsado has this as well with my emails. And I can say here, great, click below to review and let me know. Okay, fine. And I have 0 days after automation is activated. So once the workflow starts, based on the project start or end date, if the contract's been signed, if the questionnaire has been submitted. So these are all super, if the project's moved to completed, if it's done. Those actions are all similar to what's inside of Dubsado. I honestly don't think there's a difference. Other than if a first payment is made, I'm pretty sure Honeybook will see that and grab it. Dubsado, if it is I don't have the option here, but if I were to have a payment plan attached to here, my add action could be if a installment is paid, and it will watch for the exact installment to add to this. Which it's nice that Honeybook automatically knows oh yeah, a payment's been made. Great. Dubsado, you need to tell it what exactly to look for. Dubsado is definitely more hands-on with what it does, and Honeybook's going to grab some of these things automatically. Honeybook will also take your client through the project pipeline automatically. Dubsado will not. You have to either manually or through your workflows tell Dubsado when to move a client from lead to call captured to contract sent to job to finished work, what all those different project statuses. Honeybook automatically moves them through. Dubsado does not. You need to set up those automations to make sure that they move through your project pipeline so you stay organized inside of your CRM system. Okay, so next we're going to look at the forms and how Honeybook fails to get as creative as Dubsado's can. So I'm going to go ahead and create new. I'm going to create just a questionnaire. And same here, I'm going to do a new questionnaire inside of Dubsado. I'm going to make me smaller. Okay, so already you see this has my Honeybook one is making sure I'm using these things. My Dubsado one is fully blank. So I can drag an image here and do same thing, whatever. I know one of mine is, let's say here. Perfect. Close client onboarding form. And I cannot add a section. No, I have static area text. I don't have the ability to add images throughout my questionnaire. Let's see if I can even add columns. I can't. So here I can do columns. If it's going to be 3 columns, I'll do 2 columns without the title, close, and maybe we have a short answer, your first and last name, right? It's not an option, even first and last name. I have collect project information, which is going to generate a bunch of options. So your project type is tied to your settings inside of Honeybook. I don't really have that inside of Dubsado, so I'm just going to remove it because it's not really whatever. So this is my project location field under a short answer. I can go ahead and drag that. So I'm going to drag it here. I'm actually going to make sure it is below this, and then I can click on it and say ideal project location, make it required, and then I can map it to wherever I want. So this is obviously a project location name, is where I would want to map that, and I can create my own whatever additional smart fields that I want tied to a project or a client. I can do that. So like here, especially under clients, I have their Voxer account because that's the tool that I use. I also have, I should have their birthday in here. Oh, but that would be a date. So if this was a date select here, it would map to a client birthday, and that's a custom form I added into my Dubsado. Great. So I mean, like, there's just more options to make Dubsado what you want it to be, and Honeybook is just going to be like super simple and trying to think for you in what you need. And yeah, another nice option is this code block inside of Dubsado. I'll sometimes record one of these Loom videos and as a thank you to a client and be like, it's very specific to them, and I'll embed that video into my questionnaire, my welcoming onboarding form, or maybe I have homework for them and I need to be very specific with it. I can embed a quick Loom video and it will be in the form that I send. I do not have the option to embed anything inside of Honeybook. I do have the ability, let's see, to add some static text. And here, I don't even know, I don't have the ability to even edit the format of this text. Like, it's literally just the text. Whereas this, I can change, I can add smart fields in it. I can change how it's formatted. Like, there's just so many options inside of this form in Dubsado. And I know for a fact Dubsado's forms are about to get an overlook. Like, it's not going to be as difficult as it is now, where you have to like click in this box and do that. It's about to get simpler, as simple as Honeybook's is, because this is really simple to just click on a question, type it out here, great, and then your placeholder text. It's a little bit more intense when you're actually in Dubsado. So those are the forms. It depends what you're looking for, the features that are missing. Personally, I like all the different ability to drop in more images. I can drop in even like 3 columns of images. Here, 4, I won't show my title. And then I can do like image, or even inside of my text box, I can create tables and drop images inside of there as well. There's so much that you can do with the Dubsado questionnaire. But a win that Honeybook has when it comes to forms and questionnaires is this guy way up here, all changes saved. It auto saves your work as you go. I wish Dubsado had that. Instead, we have to save, and then if you were to edit it again, you'd have to hit save here, and then you can like save and close or save and preview, which that is not, like, previewing is not an option here, so you can't really see what it looks like to your client, where you can inside of your Dubsado. That's a terrible form. Don't make it like that. Another feature that Honeybook has that Dubsado does not is going to be under Tools and Batch Emails. And here I can send an email to a group of people in my contacts inside of Honeybook and send them an email. So yeah, and it counts my open rate, how many people it was sent to. I can create a new batch. Email signature on there, and I can add my client name. That is the only thing I can add. I can't add any other smart fields. That is it. But I could insert an image in here, add a link. Again, not a button, just a link. And great. And then I can say next. I'm going to select all. There's tags here for clients or creatives. Honeybook's great with collaborating with other people, which is a peek in a pit. My last video talks about that. Great, so we're gonna go ahead and say done. And that seems great. I'm gonna show you what it actually looks like. So inside of my email here, and then this is what it looks like. So it pulled up my name, but what's with the color around the box of it? Why is my name here and here and here? It's nice for a quick way to give an update to people, but if you are high touch on what you want the information to look like as it goes out to clients, it's not great. I would rather honestly have my clients in email marketing system to be able to do a quick email to them directly for the same thing, but it would look exactly how I'd want it to look. And also, yeah, this is just, it's handy, but it's not great. One of the features that Dubsado has that Honeybook does not have is natural integrations with more things, especially video conferencing. So QuickBooks Zapier is integrated on both Honeybook and Dubsado. Honeybook also has some leads generation, and they have this awesome extension for Gmail, which inside of your Gmail you can just auto add somebody. Dubsado does not have that native to their platform, but you can use Zapier to do it with another program. It's fine. But so most importantly though is your video conferencing here is only able to be connected to Zoom with Honeybook. I'm not a Zoom person, I'm a Google Meet person. I have many reasons for that, but I want the ability to use it, and I don't want to have to pay for Zoom to get all the features I have. Otherwise, so here's the add conferencing features. And so these are all the different integrations: 8x8, Google Meet, Zoom, Microsoft Teams, GoToMeeting. There's so many different options with video conferencing with Dubsado, and Honeybook only has Zoom. It's okay. Honeybook has an app. Dubsado does not. Dubsado's mobile phone usage on their website, it's pretty much responsive. Sometimes I have to twist my phone to the side to get into some of the email features to see more options. Dubsado said that they are working on an app. I pray it is coming, because that would be amazing. Honestly, I haven't even been able to get into my Honeybook app. It keeps telling me my password is wrong and it won't let me get in, and I don't actually care to use the system to really get in and mess with it, but it is nice that they have the app, and based on how simple their website is laid out, I have to imagine that their app is just as simple and easy to use. Okay, the last thing I'm going to share is a win that Honeybook does well that I wish Dubsado did, and that is going to be when it comes to notifications. I like the notifications here, where it has just all my notifications inside of Dubsado, but in Honeybook, my notifications, I can go all unread. Great. I can mark it as read, mark all as read, but the most amazing thing is up here, this filter. I can filter down to what notifications I want to see. So that's huge. I only want to see what payments have been made. I can filter it down. that is not an option inside of Dubsado. I do, though, have my inbox here, which does have all of my incoming emails from clients where I can just be there instead of inside of my Gmail inbox, and I can just filter down and see them there. So yeah, that is part 2. Well, I hope that was helpful. I am recording this February 2022, so there's a solid chance by the time you're watching this, some of the features have changed, and what's missing on one they might have now, or there could be further missing features on one program as one advances. But like I said at the top of the video, the right CRM system for you is whichever one you vibe with and whichever one you're going to use. That is it. It doesn't matter what the pros say. It just does not matter. It's whatever you're actually going to use, whatever actually helps get you organized inside of your business. Both Honeybook and Dubsado are wonderful. You can do schedulers through them. You can email clients through them. You can take payments, send contracts, send invoices, send proposals, send just regular questionnaires. You can automate those things a little bit differently in both, as discussed, but you can still do it and move forward. And I hope that was helpful. If you are in the midst of either your Honeybook setup or your Dubsado setup and are completely overwhelmed, I do offer VIP days to come inside and really help set up your systems. And I give a free clarity call before every single one of my clients work with me to make sure you and I mesh well, and that you want to work with me. And I can give you more options too of different ways we can work together on our clarity call. So down below in the description, I will have a link to that clarity call with me to have me help you get organized inside your business. And you can always watch the first video that goes over Honeybook and Dubsado features that are missing. Subscribe to my channel. I am posting new videos every week to the best of my ability. I'm getting ready to move out of state, so things are a little crazy, but I'm trying, and I'm here for you. So if you have any things that you would want to hear more about, go ahead and drop them in the comments, and I will see you next time.